this is tough to say, but the United States is in trouble. And according to many, China is putting more pressure on the US and threatening the United States in different ways that we have never seen before. Now, I'm going to address what's going on here, why this is a new big story, and what this means to the United States and the American people moving forward. All I ask is one thing, takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So what is China doing now to threaten the United States? Are they threatening Taiwan again? No, that hasn't changed. China still is a threat to Taiwan. And if the United States is going to back Taiwan, we are always going to be right there on the verge of going to war. So that's nothing new. But does it have to do with the Philippines? No, that's something different entirely as well. Now, what this has to do is, again, our U.S. borders. Here's what we know. Because China's economy is struggling, more Chinese migrants are taking the perilous journey to the U.S. border to seek asylum. This is what we've been hearing. This is a report from the Associated Press. Okay, this is from back in 2023, the latter part of 2023, but this is starting to increase. China is having a very difficult time. Okay, now obviously they went through COVID. That was a huge problem. They were locked down for years. They were the only country, they're the last country to lift their lockdowns. And then after they lifted their lockdowns, then they started to go back to the mask mandates simply because they were seeing respiratory illnesses like no other. Well, this is what caused many people to flee China, get out of China, because they wanted to go somewhere where they had more opportunity. They had a better life. That's what we are hearing. Well, things aren't changing. That's still the case. China is still seeing people flee. And now at the U.S. southern border, we are seeing people from South Africa. We're seeing people from, obviously, Mexico, seeing people from Guatemala, from Venezuela. We're seeing people from Cuba. And we are now seeing people from China. This is turning into a bigger issue than we thought. Now, here's the problem. Before, we have had experts tell us that Chinese nationals were entering into the United States illegally. We knew that, but the numbers weren't high. Now, we're seeing numbers just in December, 300,000 people entered into the United States illegally. 300,000 people in 1 month. That is a massive number. Well, this is what we are doing right now. We're asking Mexico for help. Well, the Mexico National Guard and Border Patrol are trying to ramp up efforts to curb illegal border crossings. Well, it's still not enough. And this is why some are saying that the United States is in trouble. Because once all these countries start to realize how easy it is to get into the United States, and if the Mexican the Border Patrol and the Mexican National Guard can't do enough to keep people out, and people are just crossing into the country and walking to wherever they want to go, well, guess what? Once that news spreads, experts believe we are going to see a true run on the border. This is nothing like we've seen before. That's what we are hearing. Now, I want to read you a little bit of this, okay? I want to read you this. This is from, I think, CBS News. It says, a hole in a barrier fence near the U.S.-Mexico border has made the remote town east of San Diego a popular destination for migrants coming into the U.S. illegally. It says Mexican National Guard rushed to the wall when a CBS News crew approached. I've never seen that before, said a longtime resident in the area. It says Mexico's National Guard, pause that really quick, Mexico's National Guard has been on high alert since American officials last week pressured their Mexican counterparts to help tamp down illegal crossings. So far, it's made an impact. Well, here's the thing. This is something that we are going to see moving forward. Until we see this border policy bill and additional funding, Okay, it has to be the two. It can't just be one, according to experts. If it's the two, we see this pass within the next month. The expectation is the legal border crossings are going to really be reduced. Here's the thing. According to multiple lawmakers, they don't see a Republican bill going through. They just don't see it. And these are from more Democratic lawmakers that are saying that they can't, in good conscience, they can't pass a bill that's going to limit what we can do as a nation. We can't limit the amount of people coming into the United States. We can't expedite everybody getting out of the United States. That's not something that we can do. This is why some are saying China has become an even greater threat to the United States, simply because it's not just people from Mexico. It's not just people from South Africa or from Turkey. It's not just people from Guatemala and Venezuela. It's every single person, including people from China. Everybody could be a potential threat, but we don't know that, right? Now, here's the reason why it's turning into a bigger issue. Because Russia and China are allies. China is working with the United States, obviously, with trade, militarily now. But Russia is not. Russia is not a fan of the United States. So Russia and China being allies can hurt us. Well, here's what is happening right now. Russia claims that strategic initiative in war. Ukraine, though, is running short on anti-aircraft guided missiles. Here's the reason that's pulling in the United States. The United States is one of the countries that has promised to provide additional assistance to Ukraine. We have yet to do that. Ukraine hasn't seen additional money. They saw a little bit back at the end of 2023, so a little over a week ago, but they haven't seen a substantial amount of new funding. They haven't got 10, 20, 30 billion dollars for quite a while. This is what Ukraine needs. But if the United States provides the $60 billion that we are trying to provide, well, the problem is Russia is going to look at the United States as an even bigger threat. Well, remember, Russia and China are allies. This is a problem because if Russia feels threatened and China is pushing people into the United States, we don't know what's happening here. We don't know where these people are coming from. We don't know who they are, what their plan is. We have no clue. So this is why experts are saying that until we can lock down the border, just step one, until we can ensure that this Russia-Ukraine war is over, that would be step two, we cannot protect the American people 100%. We are not doing everything we can to protect our country in U.S. soil. So, just wanted to fill you in on what's going on at this time, because as of right now, we are getting close to a border bill. We're getting close to a government funding bill. We're getting close to funding for Ukraine and Israel and for Taiwan. But by passing all those bills and all that money for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan, that's going to put even more pressure on the United States. So, just wanted to fill you in on what's going on at this time. According to experts, the threat level here in the United States is really the highest it's been in decades. So, let's prepare for that. Let's be ready. But just know that is what's going on. So, as always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. That is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.